Hello and welcome to In Defense of a Movie Podcast, and it's time for some jury duty.
Jury duty.
I'm Dan, and this is Aaron. Aaron, how you doing?
Not too bad. How are you, Dan?
I am doing good. I hope that you guys enjoyed our Halloween episode of Jeepers Creepers. It is now live. At the time of recording this, it is October 23rd. But by the time you hear this, it will be Friday right after Halloween.
Hopefully you're not too sick from all that candy you've been eating.
Yeah, remember to check your candy for Cancel Blade reboots.
And Nickelback sees. No, wait. We like Nickelback now. I'm sorry. My bad.
We have decided as a society that we like Nickelback now.
Yeah, they've been through enough.
Kind of like Creed. What's the deal there? We all used to hate on Creed. Now it's socially acceptable to like Creed all of a sudden.
I just love this like resurgence of Nickelback that's happening. Did you watch the documentary on Netflix, Dan?
No. I was going to make a joke, but no, I haven't watched it yet. I was going to say, yeah, I made it.
Quick little story here is some friends and I took a trip down. We were going, because we live in Alberta, and we were traveling down south to Dinosaur Provincial Park. And on our way, we stopped in Hannah, which is the hometown of Nickelback. And we just went on a weird Nickelback like hometown scavenger. It's actually pretty cool. They're like they got a bunch of Nickelback murals of like all their album cover art, and
that's pretty cool.
Their Welcome to Hannah sign says Home of Nickelback. So I thought it was pretty cool, but. Yeah, Nickelback. I did not expect to be talking about Nickelback, but hey, resurgences are always good.
I always expect to talk about Nickelback. Always.
Yeah,
I'm always ready.
Dan?
Yo.
Let me just tell you, you look much prettier with something in your mouth.
I gotta admit, while we're on the topic, that San Quentin song they did, that's gotta be the best rock song in the last, 5 years. Seriously.
Oh, I don't think I know what you're talking about. I'll have to take a listen.
Oh, yeah. I watched this YouTube video of this guy that he gets the stems from the song and he's listening to it track by track, like the vocals, the guitar, everything. And I was like, man, this is just a really killer song.
That low end is so beefy. Chorus. All right, I see another layer in here. And yet a third layer coming in. Let's check this out. Fuzz guitar. Those guitars sound crushing.
That makes me excited. I'm going to have a listen.
So how do we segue this into talking about movies?
Well, Dan, I actually heard that Chad Kroeger is a huge Transformers fan. Which brings me to my next point. Have you seen or heard of Transformers 1?
I know we're just lowly worker bots who can't even transform. Don't you want to see what's out there? There's a reason no one goes to the surface. It's dangerous. It's time to show them we are more than meets the eye.
We can transform now.
On 3, 1.
I have not seen this, but I've heard nothing but good things about it.
Yeah, no, it is a, so it's like the CGI animated, whatever you want to call it. I'm not sure, but it does have quite a few big names in it. We got Chris Hemsworth, Brian Tyree Henry, Scarlett Johansson, Keegan-Michael Key,
Chad Kroeger,
Steve Buscemi, Lawrence Fishburne, John Hamm. So it's just like jam-packed with so many famous people.
Wow.
Overall, I would say that this movie is pretty good. Number one, I'll say, it's always just like the Terminator series. Whenever someone takes a step out of doing a live action and goes to animated, it opens up so much more possibilities. So with that being said, they get to have all these incredible voice actors. I mean, normal actors that are doing voice acting here.
Yeah.
Which is awesome. Keegan-Michael Key was hilarious in this movie. He played Bumblebee.
Oh, cool.
And he was by far my favorite character in this movie. He was a little bit of that comedic relief. But the one thing that I will say about this movie is it was surprisingly violent.
Really?
Yeah, like surprisingly violent. There was like, obviously there's no blood because they're robots, but there was a lot of like Bumblebee just accidentally murdering people, which made for a good time. But I don't know if I can recommend this to you if you're like, I'm going to take my like 4-year-old to go see this. Maybe you want to wait a little bit and, till they have a better understanding of like violence and how it's not real in movies and whatnot. But definitely worth a watch. Maybe when it comes out to DVD. I got suckered into a sorry, I said DVD. How
you
old
just
am
dated
I?
yourself when it goes to
That's
VHS.
hilarious. Yes, when it goes to VHS, when it's on Laserdisc,
Yes.
make sure you check it out.
Did they do? Did they substitute blood with like oil or something?
Oh, I wish, but oil's too sexual.
It just sparks.
No, but also there's this like, I don't know, the relationship between Optimus Prime and Megatron was low-key gay. So,
Interesting.
If you're into that, this movie's for you.
Gay robots. violent gay robots.
Yeah. In a nutshell. Yeah. Sorry. Low-key gay, but violent robots.
What's with this new trend of studios making animated features of floundering movie franchises?
Yeah, I don't know. It's just nothing's original anymore. Nobody wants to be bothered to think anymore. Studios don't want to take a chance on anything. It's a bunch of things.
I'm surprised we haven't gotten a G.I. Joe anime at this point on Netflix.
Oh, well, Dan, now that you said it, the Hollywood bigwigs that are listening, you better bet.
There we go.
That,
you heard it here first.
It's coming.
It's interesting. We had Ninja Turtles, Terminator 0, Transformers 1. I don't know why animation comes to mind when franchises start to hit a lull. It's really weird, but it keeps happening. Even Star Trek has a animated show. I haven't watched any of it. I think it's called Lower Decks, maybe. Maybe that's what it's called? Yeah.
I think it is.
Yeah. What's going on with that? What kind of trend is that? I don't understand, but there it is.
Yeah, like I said, I think it's just that studios think that they can, they're not banking on it to make millions of dollars at the box office so that they can just have a little bit more creativity or whatever and try to release it as a cartoon or anime or CGI, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
That's my theory anyways.
Yeah. I believe it.
Dan, have you seen any movies as of late?
I actually watched a movie called Caddo Lake.
Hey, it's been a while.
You feel guilty about the accident?
She's your mom, but it wasn't your fault.
She hadn't had a seizure in 6 years.
Mom, could she call us home? How long has she been gone?
We're gonna search the whole lake. Either somebody's taken her or she's hurt.
This was a movie that you recommended to me on Instagram, Aaron. And since I have craved to watch The Penguin Show, I was actually able to watch this because it's on Max. I don't know. I can't keep up with all the different HBO iterations. But
there's too much.
So this was an interesting movie. This starred Dylan O'Brien as Paris, Eliza Shanlin as Ellie, Carolyn Falk as Anna, and Lauren Ambrose as Celeste. That's kind of the core cast. It's directed by Logan George and Celine Held probably. And this movie was a really twisty film. It started out rather simply. Dylan O'Brien's character Paris is dealing with this trauma of having lost his mom in a car accident. She, while driving, allegedly has a seizure, and they go off a bridge, and she drowns, and he escapes, kind of thing, in Caddo Lake. And then you kind of catch up with him later. I think it's like 5 years later. He's trying to live a normal life. He's kind of, starting to get romantically involved again. And at the same time, there's this family that's dealing with the really sudden disappearance of their 8-year-old daughter. One thing leads to another. You kind of think it's a simple disappearance plot, but then it takes this really hard turn where it kind of goes headlong into this really kind of twisted sci-fi premise. And I don't want to spoil anything. It has mixed reviews, but I enjoyed it. It's a little bit of a slow burn, and it's the kind of movie that doesn't answer really any questions. If you're looking for it to flush out the mechanics of what precisely is going on, you're not going to get that, but you are going to get a really solid script with some neat ideas and a twist on par with some of like M. Night Shyamalan's best work. So it's like It's and he produced it, by the way. That's why I bring him up. So we had to say something positive about him for a change, so that's why I'm getting this in there. But generally speaking, I liked it. If you have Max for some weird reason, I definitely recommend throwing it on some rainy day. Just be warned that it's one of those kind of movies where if you're looking for a clear explanation as to how everything worked, the mechanics of what's going on, you're not going to get that, but you're going to get some pretty high concept sci-fi.
Okay.
Aaron, I think you would like it a lot. So.
Okay, all right. I'll give it a chance.
So yeah, Caddo Lake, you recommended it to me. I watched it, and yeah, no, you're rock solid. Pretty damn good movie.
It's good to see M. Night Shyamalan, maybe in a producer role. I feel like maybe the last few of his movies kind of fell flat a little bit. So I like seeing him in a producer role because I definitely think, he's got the credentials, and not only that, but like the vision for all these movies that have, crazy twists and stuff. So that makes me excited. That makes me excited that, that you like this movie.
Yeah, M. Night Shyamalan has a very specific taste. And this movie could very well have been made by him if it wasn't for the fact that the acting is fantastic. The characters feel real and grounded. It's a pretty gritty movie. Like everyone's kind of like dirty, and this community's very like blue collar. It's not like a Hollywoodized. I can't really explain it. It feels very, very real, very gritty. It's not a big flashy movie. It's just kind of an understated character drama with a huge slice of sci-fi that just like hits you over the head at the end. Yeah. So
that sounds cool.
Totally. Very refreshing. I love these kind of movies, like the kind of movies you got to think about for a couple days. It demands a rewatch. I'm actually going to rewatch it with Brie and see what she thinks of it, because she doesn't know anything about it yet. So yeah, I'm excited to show her.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Oh, sorry. Is this a scary movie? I guess I just assumed that because it was M. Night Shyamalan. No, it's more of a thriller, right?
It's more of a thriller. There's a couple mildly disturbing elements to it, but very mild. Like, no, I wouldn't call it scary at all. No.
Okay, well, I'm excited.
Well, Aaron, should we announce the next episode we're doing?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, so this is an exciting film. We kind of had mixed reactions to this, and I'm really excited because it's a kind of film we haven't really done in the podcast yet. But it is, Aaron. It is so macho and manly, and it is so it's so hot.
If you're
literally hot.
If you're a millennial and you're a male millennial, this movie's for you, because if you grew up in the early 2000s, this movie you absolutely loved.
You probably listened to Linkin Park on the way to the theater to watch this film. So here we go.
There's a very good chance.
The next movie we will be defending is
Reign of Fire.
Oh yeah, starring Christian Bale and Matthew McConaughey.
Woo!
All right.
All-star cast.
Yes, this is a testosterone-fueled, post-apocalyptic, fire-breathing hunk of a film.
You're going to love it if you're a boy during the 2000s.
So that's how we'll kick off November, and we're excited about that. Well, Aaron, is there anything else you want to tackle?
Well, I did want to mention that I did start watching the Penguin series after you recommended it.
Yeah.
And holy crap, Dan. let me tell you, Colin Farrell's portrayal of the Penguin is on another level.
Oh, yeah.
I would have never even believed that was him, and I don't know how to explain it. He just does such a good job. Like, it's almost, do you remember, when everybody was kind of freaking out about Heath Ledger's Joker, where he just kind of became the Joker or whatever, and I think whenever that kind of happened, there was also a lot of just controversy around his death and stuff, which I think kind of also added to his portrayal of the Joker. But if you were to take just basically the way that you think about how Heath Ledger did the Joker and you apply that to Colin Farrell with the Penguin, oh my gosh, he does an amazing job. And like with that prosthetic suit that he's wearing, you would never know. And I'm just glad you recommended it to me, Dan, because I really didn't expect it to be as good as it is.
Yeah, neither did I. Yeah, Colin Farrell just disappears into that suit, and you forget it's him.
Mm-hmm. Oh, he's so good.
Yeah, I've noticed actually in some of the marketing for this show, they open up the marketing by having Colin Farrell sitting there in plain clothes saying, hi, I'm Colin Farrell, check out this trailer for the Penguin, but it's really smart of them because they're showing the stark contrast between like what he usually looks like and sounds like before diving into this, what the show is. And I just think that's so smart. And also, Kristen Milioti, man, as Sophia Falcone.
Yeah, she does a really good job.
She just owns every scene she's in. Absolutely
She
incredible
is
performance.
actually a fantastic actor.
Yeah.
And I don't know why she's not in more stuff, because I feel like every movie that I've seen her in, I've been like, you are fantastic. Like, you are an amazing actor.
Is she not, like, genuinely terrifying in this show?
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Like, oh, man. I would say even borderline on sexy, deranged.
Yeah, you were waiting for her to literally kill everyone in the room at every single scene. It feels like she's just ready to snap, and I just, but it's like this controlled rage, and I don't know how she does it, but it is incredible.
Yeah, definitely. If you're not watching it, I cannot say enough good things about it. Stop what you're doing.
I'm so glad you like it. Doesn't it feel like what Gotham should have been?
Yes, definitely. Like I said, I can't say enough good things about it. Actually, sorry. I'll say one kind of little bit of weird thing. And considering it's still, like halfway through the season, or I don't know if it's going to have a second season, but they don't mention Batman at all.
Yeah.
Which is okay, but also kind of weird at the same time. Just because, it was this big major event that happened. You think that you would mention him. You think that the Penguin would mention him, considering he met him in that nightclub or whatever it was. So that's probably, and we're only 4 episodes in, and I think it's a total of 8 episodes. So maybe we'll get something, but that's the only thing that I'm thinking is a little bit weird. Like, why not just mention him?
Yes, it's distracting from the audience point of view because you can't help but think, where is he? Why isn't he paying attention to any of this? But at the same time, it would be so hard to have him as part of the show and also have it focused on this family because he's, Batman's larger than life. So anytime you engage with that character, you want it to be your sole focus. Even if he kind of cameoed in the show, it would be so distracting. I think that's very hard. I kind of think they're making a wise choice by leaving him out of it entirely, but it does beg the question, like, what is he up to?
Well, see, I'm not in for, like, I don't think he needs to make a cameo or anything like that. But, there's been a couple times where they show, like, news clipping headings or whatever. Yeah. And, they refer to the what do they call it? The wall that was, that the Riddler blew up.
The seawall,
The ocean wall or whatever the heck it is.
Yeah.
And they refer to that, which is, like, a big deal because, the Riddler the entire time was talking to Batman and like trying to entice him throughout that whole entire movie. So I just thought like maybe in a headline or just like a reference in the background, like, hey, you don't want to be out that late or else the bat's gonna get you. Something like that, But like nothing. It's almost as if he doesn't exist. So that's where I'm like, okay, like I would like to see a little bit, not necessarily a cameo, but just just a reference towards him maybe, but maybe we'll get it at the end, right? We still got 4 episodes.
I think it's too early in his career. I think that they're showing how powerful these crime families are, that they don't even consider him an issue yet, even though he was entangled in all of that stuff that happened with Carmine.
Yeah, and that's fair. That's kind of the conclusion that I'm kind of thinking of why we don't see him. But I just like Batman.
Oh, totally. I'm of 2 mindsets about it. Either Robert Pattinson's portrayal of Bruce Wayne, either he's just totally moping because he feels like he failed by having Gotham flood and crime getting worse and the drugs getting worse. He might literally just be moping and doing like a insular thing. The other thing too is because he is so early in his career and he kind of got his ass kicked at the end of the Batman. Bruce Wayne has a habit, at least in the comics and stuff, of going off and getting more training, whether that be, going to Japan and training with, martial artists, or he tends to retreat into himself, and build his skills before coming back stronger. So I'm of the mindset that perhaps he's not even in North America right now while all this is happening, but I could be wrong. Well, we'll find out when the Batman 2, or maybe by the end of this series. But yeah, I'm having a hard time with where the show's at right now because I can't imagine them getting rid of Sophia Falcone before the Batman Part 2 because she's just such a great character. And because we know that the show is about the rise of the Penguin to power, you can't imagine him going anywhere by the end of this show, or else, like, what's the point? So we're building up 2 supervillains, like really awesome supervillains. And then in the Batman Part 2, probably introducing a new one. A lot of signs point to Mr. Freeze or the Court of Owls or something like that. So it's like we're in this really vague spot right now with the Batman, and I kind of love it. I kind of love the mystery of it.
Yeah. The last thing I'll say is if they do Mr. Freeze, I will not accept anyone else other than Arnold Schwarzenegger. Actually, it was a really hard time for me to accept anyone else than Danny DeVito as the Penguin, but I have a very large Danny DeVito shaped heart, so I'm always going to be biased towards him.
So if not Arnold, who would be your pick for Mr. Freeze? Because I have one in mind that I think would work really well.
Oh, that's a good question. Maybe let's go with Christian Bale.
Oh, man.
Because that just works because he was Batman. And also, he's in Reign of Fire. So killing 2 birds with 1 stone.
Yeah, he's top of mind.
Yeah, that's how the saying goes. Yeah. Sorry, who is your fan cast?
I would go with Michael Fassbender. I think he would do a great job with Victor
that's
Freeze.
another,
He's got the presence, the chops. He would fit right into this universe, I think.
The German attitude, the German engineering.
It'd be great.
Yeah. He can do anything.
He really can. Yeah, if he took that intellectual intensity he had as like David in the Alien Covenant series and applied that to Mr. Freeze and find a way to make it empathetic and kind of scary at the same time, I think we'd be cooking.
Chef's kiss. Mwah.
Yeah, I'm glad you like it. I think that's the rest of my notes here. Do you have anything in mind?
No, I think that's it.
Okay. Awesome. Well, I hope everyone had a good Halloween. We will see you on the next episode of In Defense of a Movie Podcast.
Bye.